Hey y'all. This is Dr. Serelda with the Married to My Purpose podcast, episode 13. Wow, we are moving and shaking through 2024, and I'm so excited. So, listen, I am going to do a continuation of something that my pastor had been preaching on, and he just closed out this series. And the title of the series was Under Construction. How many of us will admit that we should always be under construction? But when we're talking about our purpose, do we still think that we should be under construction? Some people feel that they know what their purpose is, they can make the necessary steps to walk in it, and then they go on cruise control. Is that normally how it works? Sometimes. But I want to talk to you all today about a few points in terms of what purpose should do for you in terms of being under construction. How does that work? When you're under construction, but you know your purpose and you want to move forward and you want to do the things that are going to elevate you and bring you satisfaction in your life. Let's talk about point one. Point one is construction improves things. Now, if you think about a construction zone, if you're on the highway, and for those of you who have ever driven the interstate, you know that those roads are always being improved. Why are they being improved? Because there are innocent patrons on those highways. We don't want potholes that will create more accidents. So let me ask you this. How many of you focus on improving your purpose by making sure you're in the right places in life at the right time in life, embracing the right opportunities in life? Because sometimes if you're not on the right highway, you could step into some potholes. You can get stuck. You can have a flat tire. And in worst case scenario, you can have an accident. Now, that's when I'm giving you the analogy of a highway and cars in an interstate when you're talking about being under construction. But what do you do when you have the pothole that you run into? Do you stop? You just decide you're not going to live anymore. You're not going to operate in your purpose. It's not worth it. You don't feel you're worthy. Let me tell you something. You are worthy. You are worth it. You matter. There were times in my life where I didn't think I was worthy of the best job, that I was worth being in the best marriage or relationship, but I am. And so are you. Construction and being under construction, when you're talking about your purpose, it improves things. What are the areas in your life do you know right now you can improve? Get a pen and piece of paper and write those things down as we're going through this under construction in terms of your purpose. Now, some of you may say, I don't even know what my purpose is. Okay, Serelda, you're asking me to do something. You're asking me to write something down, but I don't even know my purpose. I want to invite you to do some work, do some purpose work, and start learning. We have so much big data in the world. Google, Yahoo, Chat GPT, AI resources and tools. There's no excuse. There's no excuse. If someone tells me, well, I'm not operating in my purpose because I don't know what it is, do the work. I can't tell you what your purpose is. I can guide you. Yes, I am a coach. I do have clients and I do help them. We have a program called Bridge Your Life. Because some people, for example, I'll take myself for an example. I'm a retired military officer, go Army. Yep. And when I got out, I wasn't promoted to the next level, so I had to get out. And after I was looked at for the promotion board, after 6 months, I had to vacate the premises. For those of you who don't understand the process in the military space. Luckily, 3 years prior to that, God led me to start a doctorate program. Now, for people who know me and knew my story, the only thing I ever wanted in life was to get an MBA. Yeah, I wanted to have a master's in business administration. I love the order of things. I love order. I love structure. I love organization, but I also have a creative mind. But overall, I like structure. So the business administration degree, having an MBA, that was it for me. I don't want any other degrees. And then God said in 2013-ish, go apply for a doctorate program. And I clearly asked him as I'm talking to you, why? Why do I need that? I'm in the military. Now, that was 2013. I had no idea that I would not be in the military after 2016. I didn't know that. I did not know that. I was under construction all along and I didn't know it in that specific example. So, what happens? The same year I find out that I would no longer be able to serve in the United States Army is the same year, months apart, that I conferred my doctorate degree, which is right here on the back of this wall, the School of Business and Leadership from Regent University, a doctorate in strategic leadership and leadership coaching. Now, mind you, I was still in the military matriculating this degree. I thought maybe, as I go up in rank and continue to get promoted, this degree will help me there. And it did until the work and the coursework that I did, it did help me. But I was in a season, i.e., the Army, preparing for another season. How many of you are in a season right now preparing for another season? Do you even know that you're preparing for another season? Or are you just sitting in the season that you're in, frustrated, as my old pastor used to say, disillusioned and hard to get along with, uptight, not right, and ready to fight? Okay? We don't want to do that. Why? There are over 60 million people in the world. We're not stepping on each other to make a difference. Every person that's hearing me talk needs to understand that there are a certain group of people called to your purpose. There's a certain group of people called to your sound, down to the specificity of the tone of your voice. I was talking to a friend earlier before I started this podcast recording, and he said, I think we're on to something. I think we are on to something. So listen, point one, being under construction improves things. Being under construction enhances. If we use the analogy of the highway, if potholes are filled, if speed bumps that have been created by man-made disasters or weather, and they have to be smoothed out, yeah, we can enhance the highway. We can enhance our purpose highway by smoothing things out. What about those relationships that you may need to let go? What about the relationships that you need to pick up? What about the people that you should be connected to that you would not necessarily approach? Mhm. Because they're not the popular person, but you're struggling inside because your purpose has hit a pothole. Because in your mind, you think enhancing your purpose, you already have the answers. We don't have all the answers. We have to listen, we have to hear, and we have to see what's around us to enhance what's inside of us. Okay? Being under construction enhances. Listen, before I came on this live, I had a slick back on my hair. My hair was pulled back. I went and curled my hair. As my grandmother say, put my face on, put my rouge on, and now I am dressed the part for the occasion. How many of us are showing up for our purpose and we're not dressed the part? We're not showing up for the occasion. Your purpose is a whole occasion. You are the occasion. One of my girlfriends gave me a scarf from Sassy Jones that said, I am the occasion. I am the occasion. Yes, I am. You are the occasion. Yes, you are. You need to put that in uh, hashtag tonight. I am the occasion. When I show up, I am the occasion. When people show up and I'm in the room, I am the occasion. Period. So we've learned that being under construction in terms of your purpose, it improves things, but it also enhances things. And then being under construction with your purpose serves. Serves what? Serves who? Whomever and whatever is tied to your purpose will be served, and your purpose will be of service. Many of us don't realize, and this session is not for talking about business and entrepreneurship and all of those things, but guess what? Every last person listening to this can monetize your life in some way. You can monetize your life story. You can monetize your experiences. You can monetize what you've learned in school. Mm-hmm. And you're sitting on it. I want someone to drop in the chat or in the thread. Get up. You've been sitting for too long. Get up. I'm only saying this to you because I was sitting for too long too. And I know some of you who know me would say, no, girl, you don't even be still. I was just talking to someone today that said, when you get back from your trips, I need you to take a break. You're just doing too much. And I said, the purpose that God gave me gives me the grace to do what I'm doing. It may not other people may not understand it. Other people may not understand how I can move around so much. To some, they would say that it's busy. I don't like busy work and I don't like being busy. I don't like it. I like being impactful. I like being intentional. And I like operating in my purpose. So when we talk about being under construction, we have to understand who we serve and what we serve. And really, some of us are stuck in how we should serve when we're operating under construction for our purpose. So we talked about 3 points so far. Our first point, being under construction for our purpose improves things. Being under construction for our purpose enhances things. Being under construction for our purpose serves things. And lastly, being under construction requires humility. Being under construction requires humility. You know why? Because sometimes we're not going to understand what happens to us and we're not going to be able to control it. So I need you to understand as you go back to your respective lives, you go to work tomorrow, you lay down tonight. If you are a journaler, I just made up a word, journaler. If you are a person who journals, I want you to write in your journal tonight, being under construction for your purpose is going to require humility. I did not say it's good to have it. You better get ready because you might need it. No, it's required. It is required. Because when things happen to you in life and it hits you like a ton of bricks, guess what? All you're going to be able to do is respond to it. Either you're going to control what happens or it's going to control you. Now, let's spin it to a positive space. Let's just say purpose in your life is aligned. You are moving and shaking in your area. Opportunities are flowing like water out of a faucet. Money starts to flow in your bank account. Speaking engagements come out of nowhere. Podcasts come out of nowhere. Books come out of nowhere. Interviews on TV come out of nowhere. That's the humility that I'm also talking about. Don't forget who you are. Don't forget where you came from. And don't forget that part of being under construction for your purpose, there's a level of service required. If you cannot see service, reaching back, or paying forward to help others, you may not be operating your purpose. You may be operating in a money making opportunity only. You've got to put humanity in everything that you do, everything. So when we're talking about being under construction, be okay with not being put together all the time. Because when you're not put together all the time, it gives you flexibility to grow. It gives you flexibility to improve. It gives you flexibility to enhance. It gives you flexibility to serve, not just where you want to serve, but serve where you're needed. It gives you the flexibility to see humanity and operate in humility at all times. Now, listen, before I close out for tonight, I want to say this. Make sure you understand when you start operating in your purpose, you are going to attract lots of people, and they are all not called to you. They are not called to your purpose. They are called to see what you're doing, and some of them are going to take it. You better learn the rules of copywriting and trademarking if you're really serious about this. And if you are serious about this, take the journey. Take the journey with us. We are putting a stake in the ground, and we have already put a stake in the ground with the Married to My Purpose platform. I, in less than 3 weeks, will be in El Paso, Texas, August 2nd through the 4th, at my first inaugural national conference, the Married to My Purpose conference, where we will dive into 4 phases of marriage in terms of your purpose: self-awareness, courting and dating, proposing, and ultimately marriage. And I'm not talking about to another person. I'm talking about to your purpose. So I am so excited. I'm so excited to get to El Paso in a couple of weeks. I'm so excited to pour into those that are in the room. Some people say, how many people do you have? I said, if I have 5 people in the room or 500 in the people in the room, it will happen. Those that should be there will be there. And some have even asked me if I wouldn't mind doing a virtual option on one of those days. I don't know. I want to do the first one in person, but if there's enough demand and request for a virtual option, I may do it on Sunday after we get down into the meat and potatoes. Our black soiree, all black soiree attire event on Friday night, and then our all white general session attire for Saturday. We are going to have a vow ceremony, a purpose vow ceremony. Yeah, we're going to marry our purposes in El Paso, Texas. We're going to put the stake in the ground. Listen, folks, thanks. This is episode 13 of the Married to My Purpose podcast. I am looking forward to seeing you all next week. Listen, don't forget, being under construction for your purpose, you need to stay in the game, and you need to do the work. All right, talk to you later now. See you next week.